They're coming to get you, Barbara.
What an excellent day for an exorcism.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
I like to dissect girls. Did you know I'm utterly insane?
I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's work.
We have such sights to show you.
Who's laughing now?
Drive you crazy. I'll kill you all. I'm the nightmare you ever had. I am your worst dream come true. I'm everything you ever were afraid of.
They're here.
There we go. Hello, hello, hello. How are we doing? First of all, thank you for coming here with your human vessels. Appreciate that. There's lots of work to be done now because now I've found out the truth after talking about this particular group of people. I'm not even gonna call them a cult right now. I want to save that for later. But
Okay. Yeah, I was like, are you okay? Are you planning to join?
That's
Blink twice if you need help.
oh my god.
I was a little worried. I was like, either it's gonna be good or bad that you're talking to them.
Yeah, I will get into that in a little bit because that blew my mind that they responded so quickly. Like I got 3 more emails today back and forth just talking to them.
That's wild.
Yeah, I was not expecting that. I heard before, like when I talked or when we first talked about doing this, I was like, well, heck, I'll just go on there, see if the website's even still up. It is. It looks terrible. It's an old, it's very 90s. It's got the green text and stuff, and it's one long page. And in order, if you would like to buy their book, just so everyone knows, you send them money in the mail, and then they will send you the book. Like there's no Vimeo, there's no PayPal, there's no transaction. They would like a check or money mailed to them. They have a physical address still, and then they will send the book from whatever address that you mailed them stuff.
I never have cash with me. It's always my debit or credit card.
A little bit of cash.
Right? All right. So obviously, guys, if you are out there watching, thank you so much. We were talking about Heaven's Gate, also known as the Class, as they called themselves, and a bunch of other names. Like they had so many friggin' names. And from my understanding, the media is what called them. The media is what called them Heaven's Gate. Like they didn't even call themselves that at first.
Well, they had a lot of different names.
Yeah, they had like all kinds of. Not to mention this guy. So creepy.
Oh,
I feel sorry for him. Just learning about his backstory, it makes sense why he was like that.
Yeah, I totally get it. And he's like very too. Of
He's
course.
very what?
Very intelligent. Very.
Usually, yeah. He was a professor, right? And all the students loved him. Very
he was.
charismatic.
True. I don't know if he's. I don't because there's different versions of being charismatic, and I have a picture of him too right here. I'm gonna blow it up on screen. Let me. There we go. I don't know if I would follow this guy. Something about him.
I felt very sorry for him listening to his story. I can't even hate him like the other guys.
Sorry for what he needed to do to himself against like it's that's what blew.
I agree. Yeah.
Because he is safe and to fight off that he like castrated like oh my god. Wow.
That's some dedication.
Oh yeah. Like
Well,
you have a certain spot with your
Lex, you broke up at that end part right there.
Yeah, it's like you broke up.
No, it's like you have to be at such a dark place with yourself to like go through with that. And it's like makes like want to hug him almost like it's okay if you like guys like
yeah really. But it was the times too. Even now, thank God, like there's more you can open up about it. But in that time, he got married and had kids, and he probably couldn't really
like deny it.
Yeah, he had to deny it. He went to a mental hospital for it.
Yeah,
I can't imagine feeling that and then just trying to suppress it. It's kind of like if I can't have sex, nobody's gonna have sex.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but there was a little time he was living with another guy. You know, they were trying to live a normal life, and I don't know. I think he was just more also into the teachings because they were firm believers. Like the whole group of people who ended in 1997, who ended up trying to go to Hale-Bopp or the comet. They seemed like they all were 100% on board. It wasn't like Jim Jones where people were forced to take some of the poison. They all seemed to be very, very willing.
Yeah, with this cult, it was so interesting because like you could leave. They would pay your ticket for you to leave if you wanted to. Nobody was being forced there.
And no one was like used or no, it was all like come together, kumbaya.
I found it so refreshing. And also he lived like they did too. He didn't take the money for him to be rich or take like the women for him only.
No,
I found that so refreshing.
Right. No, it was much different than usual. Like what we usually hear is it'll start off real innocent and all of a sudden it just gets horrible and horrible. And obviously, like we don't want them to do what they did at the end, but it could have been so much worse as we've seen before.
It's
you know the last. It's always what?
It's always a power play, usually.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, what's her name?
Oh my goodness, I know her name and it just escaped my head right now.
Bonnie.
Bonnie Nettles.
Yeah.
Yeah, like she power played him. I mean, that's the only. But like with the people, it was friendly, welcoming. Like no forced. So.
She had a horrible end. The way she died.
Yeah.
She got cancer, and they had to remove an eye, and then the cancer spread everywhere.
Yeah, that's rough.
A horrible way to die.
Yeah. But for the most part, at least though, they lived how they wanted to live for years. I mean, the cult lasted from 72 to 97, and then onward after that, with people kind of just keeping the maintenance going. I don't think it's really like still in effect. I don't think they're waiting for another comet, but there is, some people who are left behind that are still keeping the word going.
I was listening to a podcast about it, and I was driving so I couldn't stop, and I was like, I missed the names, but there's 2 people that are still in Phoenix. They were members and then they got out of it, but they still run. I don't know if that's the people you talked to, Miguel.
One of them, the name I believe is Taylor, which was the name I saw in the email, like the little whatever you call that, the sign off. But I don't know the other name though, because I only saw one response name.
It was a couple, and they live in Phoenix, and I was like, "Whoa, Arizona, that's really close."
So, which one of you is gonna get a selfie with them first? Who can do it?
You. Already asking, are you okay? I was like a little worried with the group text.
Boo boo, call you, okay?
Oh shit. Yeah, I think no, I don't think I'll be joining anytime soon. But if this has proven anything to me, is that I will have to be starting my cult in probably about 5 years or so. Do a little more research. So if you guys want to join, I'll give you both half off discounts. It's fine. Totally allowed to join. There will not be. I. There's a couple of things that I would not do that they did. First, I'm not that much of a sci-fi person as they were, so probably gonna have to switch that up a little bit. You know, I didn't watch Deep Space or Deep Nine, I think, because they were super. It was technically a Christian cult, but all of it based around more sci-fi stuff that they kind of added to themselves, being aliens and wanting to leave their bodies now to get something better on the ship, which was interesting.
It was like heaven to them.
Yeah.
One more time.
Bethel transfer.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Proper term for it. Hey, Richard, how you doing?
Only because in the book it wasn't suicide, they claimed. Once they removed them from their worldly vessels, the spaceship traveling there would carry them away from this planet into the realm of ascension.
I'll join.
That's a lot to take in that one sentence right there.
Like oh, okay.
Yeah. Hey, Bob, how you doing? Yeah, the fact that they because there's videos of them. In fact, I have the where is it? Oh my goodness, I have it in my. Here we go. Mom of Heaven's Gate. No, gosh dang it. I have to find it real quick. But they have all of their leaving statements on video where members what do you call it? Applewhite himself, we're all talking about why they're doing this and the recycling of Earth, how the entire planet wasn't going to exactly end, but it was going to go through a new cycle, and if you wanted to get out of that, joining them was the way to do it.
When I was researching this, I couldn't find it because I found different answers, but did Applewhite die at the end or in the middle?
That is a good question. I believe he was one of the last to go.
Because I heard that too, but then there were some people that said that he died in the middle. He wasn't the first one to go. It's either the middle or the end. Which I don't know how. I think I'd be like the last one and then just like be nope.
Right.
And you know what? I think you could have just dipped out whenever you wanted to. I don't think they would have even stopped you. Like,
yeah, that was so refreshing for this cult that anyone could leave. They didn't have you against your will.
Right.
Very true. Very true. And okay, so they are on YouTube, they are on Vimeo, and they will send you a link to all of their stuff if you want to see it. You can email the page. It's Heaven's Gate. I'll show you guys the website itself real quick too. If I can just pull this up. Come on now. Come on. All right, keep talking for me, guys. I'm gonna get this up on the screen so you guys can see it.
There's a suicide room.
Whoa. And they actually lived in a really nice house. They lived in a mansion.
Yeah.
In San Diego, in one of the nicest areas of San Diego. Like, I'm not killing myself if I live there. Like, I'm gonna live it up. Like, it's
Me
nice.
too.
They
actually had a lot of money because they started with the internet. They were entrepreneurs, so they had a lot of money.
I will say this though. Let me see if I can pull it up. I'm gonna take that down and put up this other one because they did web design for people towards the end because it was I mean, it's a good thing to get into. They were like right at the beginning, but they weren't very good at it. And here's what I'm going to point out: they are not good web designers. Like, no, I'm not paying you to do that.
If it was free, I would really like it, but paid work, no.
What do you call it? Yeah, this is like there is another website called Biblioteca Pleiades. I don't know if that one's still going, but it's super heavy into just alien and cryptid conspiracy theories. Like, the most. It's one of those websites that kind of launched other conspiracy theories. So it's the center branch to so many other ones, and this one only looks slightly better than that, only slightly.
Red alert.
Right? Yeah, the red alert up top right there. I think if I click it, it'll go to a different page. But there's right here transcripts of videotapes for this one. Last chance to evacuate Earth before it's recycled, which is I think one that a lot of people see little clips of here and there that kind of explains what they were doing. But I don't think it ever really made sense when they were trying to explain it to anybody because it was just so esoteric, I guess. It's just super complex what their ideas were. But yeah, actually, real quick, Lex, can you bring up that picture again? The one of the suicide? Because yeah, I'm sure everyone has seen that before, but it still blows my mind that they wanted people to see. They took those pictures. That was them.
And it's like on March 26th, the body of 8 men, including Applewhite, discovered at Rancho Bay. All the dead laid bunk bed, white Nike Decade sneakers.
The Decades. Oh my gosh.
Their heads were covered with bags and their bodies draped in purple shrouds. Each had $5 bills and quarters in his or her pocket. A fare needed intergalactic travel.
Motherfucker, it's gonna cost way more than $5 intergalactic travel. Okay, the Greyhound's like $20 to the next state over. All right, so let's just be real.
Which it really fucked up Nike's the shoe sales because
Yeah, they stopped making those.
And I don't think they sell that model anymore.
No, not Nikes themselves, but you can find them on. Let me go to. I believe they're still on eBay. Come on. Yeah, eBay right here. Nike Decades, size 12, so I can wear these. Oh shit, never mind. They're $6,660.
I was gonna say, are they $7,000? I mean, if you're rich, why not? But
that's insane. But I mean, they all had a nice pair, nice and clean. Those purple shrouds. When I started doing a little more research, the plastic bags over their heads, I had no idea. I thought they did the poison and they were just done.
It said they had a mixture of like high applesauce, and like they would have group help the first group, and then third group would help.
Yeah, which totally brings me to like the point. It wasn't like Jonestown where people were kind of forced to do it because obviously some people over there did it willingly, but it seems like everybody here was 100% on board.
Right. And they all seemed happy too, living that kind of life.
Yeah. I mean, quite a few of them were there for 20 some years.
And that is so hard. Like, obviously, when there's somebody in a cult, they're against their will. That's different. But somebody who wants to be there and they're not hurting anyone, well, except at the end, they hurt themselves. But if they're not hurting anyone or themselves, I don't see the problem with it, except for the ending of this.
Yeah. I mean, if it only was just them living their life how they were doing it, that's basically just a more fringe religion. It's no different than the ones who are really dedicated to their beliefs. No problem. Do what you got to do. They were living a totally normal life. It seemed like they were eating real healthy and working only when they actually had to, just for money's sake. For whatever, let them do their thing.
But at the beginning, when you would join, you would have to go through a cleanse like for 3 months, and it would be lemonade, cayenne pepper, and then I think honey. And you would have to cleanse yourself from all like the fast food and stuff, like the bad thoughts. And I was like, 3 months drinking that. No.
I didn't actually hear about that part, but I'm kind of glad I didn't, because I actually did that exact same recipe while I was doing the juice, like just juicing. It ain't that
How'd
bad.
it go?
It helped. You feel clean on the inside. You feel like emptied out, and it honestly helps like as a meal, like suppressant. I wasn't so hungry throughout the day, and it's real spicy. So when you first drink it, it's like, my God, what am I doing? I had no idea that was part of it. Like, I didn't know that was because I knew there was that kind of. I don't think it's like an initiation ritual, but like they had their rules like in order to join. I didn't know that was part of it because I did that voluntarily to myself. Huh.
Yeah.
Huh. Maybe I'm a member.
Shit.
Drinking a cocktail made cayenne pepper and make Star Trek. There's a third over and over again.
I would too, though. Like, I would watch Star Wars, boom, boom, boom. Like, shit, maybe I do need a new, like, because technically I'm.
No.
I mean, the comet's already gone. I'm not gonna hop on that. That's impossible. But you know,
maybe
if you guys see me rocking some Nike Decades, you know, just like, Lex. In the book, does it say what because they had a patch on them too, right? When they passed away.
What was it? Here we go. What was it?
Something like that, yeah.
Something into space. What was it?
Dang it. Now I'm gonna look it up too on here if I can find it, because it was specific. I thought I would remember the name just off the top of my head, but I can't remember.
When they died, right? They had that patch. To the far we go, or what was it?
Patches. Okay.
Heaven's Gate patch red.
Did you find it?
Yeah. It said on their all black patch reading.
One more time.
Gate away team.
Away team. Okay, that's what it was. Yep. Okay, I'm seeing it now. Oh, it's on Etsy. You can get one. Wow. Oh my God.
Miguel, you're very excited about this. I'm worried about you.
That's kind of messed up. I feel like that's not. Who's making money off of that? You know, it's like not cool. Not cool. Unless it's them. Even then, not cool. Hey Daniel, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. We are talking, of course, Heaven's Gate right now. We kind of jumped towards the end where, you know, obviously the most prolific spot, which is the suicide, but their buildup was unbelievably slow. I think people think it was like a 90s thing. This started back in the 70s or the 60s, really, with Marshall Applewhite and Bonnie Nettles, who went by a bunch of different names. They called themselves the Two, Guinea and Pig. I think the last ones was T and Doe was the last names, right? Something like that.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Of Bo and Peep.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, because they're shepherds. Yes. What? Let me hear. Marlene, you go first on this one. What would be your cult nickname if you're gonna run your own cult? What are you calling yourself?
Okay. I'll use. You know how porn stars get their name? It's like the pet name and then the street name. I'll do that. Okay, so my dog's name is Daisy, and then the first street I was in was Cottonwood. So I guess I'd be Daisy Cottonwood.
That works really well.
Actually, it does.
That's really good. Oh my God. I'm putting
Just
that in the
your
comments.
pet name and then the first street you lived in. That's what I thought of.
Hashtag Daisy Cottonwood. That's going in the chat. Sorry. Lex, what do you got?
Pet's name is Bodie. First street I lived on was Rosemont, so Bodie Rosemont. But
Ooh.
I used to do drag, so I am like I do like drag king and drag. So my so probably be like.
I like that too. That fits, especially if you're gonna run the cult. That's someone who runs it.
Thank you. Right.
What do you call it? My first pet was a dog named Buddy, and the first street I lived on was Johnson Drive. So that's Buddy Johnson. That's just straight porn name. That doesn't work for a cult. That doesn't help at all.
X cult there.
They call it. I mean, I wouldn't be against it, but I'm not big on the whole rules and stuff. Like, I don't want to tell people what to eat all the time and when to wake up and all that. It's like that sounds like so much work.
I would be so upset. I would be so upset if you told me what to eat. Like today, remember I told you I couldn't have coffee, and it affected me so much. I don't know how the Mormons do it without coffee.
Oh yeah. Oh no. That's another one we actually should talk about.
Oh,
Not saying that like Mormonism is a cult, but just the beginnings of
it
Mormonism is very like interesting.
People have said it is a cult, and I was surprised. Like people that were in the religion, I didn't know, and they had like YouTube videos about it. And I had no idea. I thought it was a religion.
I'll have to watch that then, because I haven't seen any of those. That sounds interesting.
I think next topic.
I wouldn't mind it. Would not mind that at all. All right, so back to Marshall Applewhite, and we'll talk about, because we went in this just for a quick second, but yes, he decided that he no longer needed certain parts of himself, so it was like, down to Mexico, let's get rid of them. Chop. And I believe 5 or 6 other members were like, well, that seems like a dandy idea. I'm gonna go ahead and copy that swagger. Let me have the same look as you. I mean, they already had the same haircuts. May as well go with the same, The
women too. The women had the same haircut as well.
One more time.
What?
That is true. I was agreeing with you.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's another thing. Like when some group of people, not like, this is so hard to say because I don't want to like besmirch anyone over this, but if you're all forced to look exactly the same, do exactly the same things, that should probably be a red flag that maybe something's up with where you're at. But at the same time, like there's uniforms for things that aren't nefarious. There are schedulings that don't make it a bad thing. I think at what point do you find out like, I'm forced to wear the same outfit as these people. We're eating the exact same thing every day. We have to have the same haircut. There's got to be a cutoff line to where like you got to back out. You just got to get away from it.
And even like they could eat pancakes, but it had to be cooked in a certain way. It had to be a certain size to eat it. And I was like, whoa. All that for a pancake, and it all had to be the same.
It better be really good pancakes.
Yeah, it better be a really
But what do you call it? What was next? So yeah, the castration obviously is a big contention on there because as soon as you bring that up to guys, at least like there's no way to get around that. Like that's going to be what you talk about forever. Wait, but there was so much more to them.
Did they do it to women as well, or just men?
I think it was just the men, because only a handful of them really did it. There was 39 members that went through with the transformation into their space bodies to go to the comet and to the Hale-Bopp comet. And only 6 of them actually got to surgery. They weren't forced to do it. Nobody was forced to do anything like that in this cult. There was no like the other ones, like Children of God or Scientology, where you're forced to do certain things. There was very little force in this. Like there wasn't a whole lot of punishment. It was maybe like, oh, you shouldn't be doing that, and a little guilt trip here and there. But it wasn't violent. It wasn't hateful against other people. It wasn't evil in any kind of sense,
And
it just wasn't.
But Scientology and NXIVM, they would have to give collateral, like personal stuff, and they would be blackmailed into doing things. But with this one, you don't even have to tell them anything, your secrets or anything like that they could use against you.
No, exactly. And at one point, they actually weeded out like 20 members that just weren't as into it as the other people were. So they just sent them away, like, oh, go get a job and we'll give you more instructions later. And they just kind of let them go because they just knew, okay, they're just not as into it as the rest of us. They really didn't want a big amount of people. They wanted to focus on just true believer status.
They would test them. There'd be like, go outside and look for the comet or an alien. I don't remember what it was, but it would be like, go outside and look for the alien. And they would be outside the whole night. And the people that made it through were allowed. And the people that didn't, well, goodbye.
In their defense, though, I have also, as a kid, stayed outside looking for aliens. You know, me and my buddies, we have a sleepover, and like, you know what? It's alien hunting night. Never found any. But that was by our own volition. So,
Yeah.
yep.
So this cult has been more innocent than the other ones.
Truly.
Yeah.
But
And
then
it has
again,
made the news like all over.
oh yeah, and they were covered before the suicide. They had some. There was a movie made about them. Let me get the proper name real quick. Evans Gate TV movie.
Wait, this was before?
Okay. Yeah, this was before. Okay, it was just called Heaven's Gate. It came out in the 80s. Originally, it was supposed to be a series, like a TV series about them, but for whatever reason, it turned into a movie. Excuse me 1 second.
No worries. Like, there's something going around. Allergies.
Yeah, it's just been a cough. It's just, yeah. I'm not sick. I'm okay. I promise.
No worries.
So if it's anything, I'm just gonna shed the mortal body and I'm just gonna go to the spaceship. It's totally fine. All right, it's totally okay.
I think. What I want to read the emails you've been sending back.
Yeah, now I'm all suspicious.
What do you call it? Let me pull those up. Let me see if I can get them because they're on my phone right now. But I got the gist of it in my head. I can because I don't know if I can pull them up on my computer right now. So basically, I started with just seeing if anyone will respond, and I asked for more information. And maybe a couple hours later, I get an email just saying, "Yeah, if you need more information, please check out these links." The first one was to their full series of interviews with the members with Applewhite, and then the final video that he did, which was again called, come on, where's the name? Last Chance to Evacuate Earth Before It's Recycled. And then they had the information I told you about the book, where they said, if you'd like the full copy, please send us $30 to this address.
Did you
and we will
send
send you the book.
$30?
I don't send money in the mail anymore. Who does that? You got a birthday, I'm gonna just Venmo you the money, all right? It's fine. They don't have it. They don't have Venmo. They don't have PayPal. They don't have a MasterCard little swipe thing on the website. It has not been updated since the 90s. Like, this website is definitely that old. No questions asked.
To think they were so ahead of the game with technology, like getting into the internet, and now they're so behind.
Right.
Well, that's what happens when your entire cult kills itself, though. You know, you're gonna fall behind in the tech savvy part. It's bad marketing. I'm gonna tell them right now. Like, if you're trying to build numbers, that's not a way to do it. It's just not good.
What if they become a sponsor?
Oh, I mean, I'm not against it.
Miguel,
I mean,
to read the emails.
What do you call? Okay, I'll keep going. So the next thing I asked them was just, is there any, because all the information they sent me was the last of it came out in 97. Like, that's the last video made. I was like, well, that's when everything happened. Is there any updates that have been shared since then? And the only, like, no, the last thing was when the comet came. There's been no other emails or there's been no other updates since then. And that's pretty much where the conversation pretty much ended. Because there is nothing else. They are literally here just to maintain that bit and just to explain what happened. There was, I want to say, one other gentleman, because there's supposed to be 40 that were going to be in the situation, but one guy just kind of dipped out a couple days before it happened. Just decided he didn't want to be a part of it, and they let him leave. They just let him go, no problems. Which is why it ended up with the 39 people. And I believe somebody, part of the cult, after hearing about what happened, took his own life on his own. But I believe he shot himself. It wasn't as ritualistic.
Well, there were some people that would leave the cult, but they were still friendly with the cult. And they were friendly with the person that left. And I don't think I've ever heard of that before.
Never heard of that either.
Definitely different. Like, if you go to Scientology, if you look at Scientology, if you leave, they will gang stalk you until you get away from them. They want you as far away and not communicating with other members ever again. Like, you leave, you're done. We're cutting you off completely. And it doesn't seem like it was that case here.
Mm-mm. Well, even that actress, I forgot her name, but she was in King of Queens. Like she had power, and they were still going after her.
Oh yeah, I think that's even more so because she had a way to talk to people more than just a common person. She had um uh, a soapbox that she could stand on and talk like, "Hey, this is bad stuff happening in this organization." So they didn't want any bad publicity like that, especially for Scientology. It is David Miscavige is really ruthless about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, this cult was not like that. I was really surprised how innocent it was compared to other ones.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Now, obviously, we talked a little bit about some of the rules they had. There was no sex allowed in the cult, no drinking, no smoking, very strict diets. They all did their own chores. There was uniforms that they wore, but kind of hid them from the public at most times. When they were living, I believe it was in the woods at one point. They had a situation where they'd pack everything up and they'd bug out whenever they could. So they were ready to go at a moment's notice. But I don't think they ever actually had to do it. I'm going to go Lex for this one first. What would be your first rule to your cult? What would you pick if you had to pick one?
No.
It's a hard one.
I really don't, because I'm not really a person, whole group of people to boss around. I can.
That's fair. That's fair.
I don't know. I would just be like, would probably be not to bash each other. Conflict. I mean, but we're not gonna bash each.
I'll go with that. I like that. Marlene, what about you?
Sweet. You have to eat bread. Because I don't trust people that don't eat carbs, so I'm like suspicious.
Oh shit!
I get suspicious when they don't eat carbs. I'm like, there's something wrong.
Oh my gosh, that got me. Oh my god! You don't eat this bagel with me, you're out. Get away.
I'm not a fan of bagels. I like muffins, but some kind of carb. I mean, I need to know what.
Sign me up. I'm sold.
Enjoy life. Eat a pizza. Eat something.
Yes, that's okay. I can get behind that. I'm following Daisy Cottonwood into this cult. This is happening. Oh my gosh. I agree, Richard. We can start a cult. We've got to build up some ideas behind it first, because I do not know how to start a religion, let alone a cult. So that's going to be a couple of, at least I would say at least 6 months project before starting a cult. There's some research to be done.
I'm not religious, so wrong person. Oh wait, what's your rule, Miguel?
Oh, I probably would have silence from like 10 p.m. till everyone wakes up. I don't want you talking to me, bothering me.
That's
If I'm
usually
in
at
charge,
night.
yeah, if I'm in charge and like people are asking you questions all the time, I could already tell you're gonna bother me while I'm trying to sleep. Like, no, you go away now. This is my time.
No, at night it's usually when I start to dance and I start to sing. I think I'm a night owl, so like that is usually when I start to dance and sing, and I'm really happy.
Yeah, okay, I would allow that, but no questions, no questions while I'm trying to relax.
Give Miguel a loud.
Yes, that's actually not unlike one of the rules they had in the cult. It's called Tomb Time, where you could only answer yes or no questions, and if you had to like communicate past that, you have to write everything down. So they had like moments of silence throughout their years, and I guess they enjoyed it. Like, I don't understand what benefit it really had, because like you talk throughout the day, whatever. But that was a thing called Tomb Time.
I wonder if that will work with.
Try like,
Huh. You're not talking to me. Write it out. See you later.
What do you call it? It does help with the handwriting, fixes the. Oh, so maybe we can implement that. I'm gonna write these down.
Well, I think another rule was that they had to stop talking to anybody they knew, right? Family members, friends. They had to leave the old life behind.
Yeah. That one, that's another one that's like a big red flag for me. If you're ever told you can't talk to people, like you don't, obviously, like families are not always close, so you don't always talk to them. But if you're told you can't talk to your family, that's not a good thing. I think if you're being forced to do something,
Gonna talk you out of it. Oh no.
yeah, I think that's why. That's honestly like if you're attached to your family or to just someone you care about, or hell, I think even like a job or something. Anything that you care about more than the cult.
Right.
I think they had one Mother's Day where they were allowed to go see their mom, and it was like a big deal. But every once in a while, they were able to write to their family, so it would seem like they wanted to be there, and they're learning about computers.
Right.
Yeah. Cool. Just good. Job skills aren't a bad thing. That's not the worst thing in the world. It's better than what was it? The Branch Davidians who just collected guns all the time. That's probably not good. No, I'm not against guns. I'm just saying those particular people, I don't trust them with them. That's a whole other story.
Yeah. I mean, I wish I lived in a world where we didn't need guns, but yeah, we need them.
Yeah.
And there's just a certain group of apocalyptic churchgoers who are all trying to have babies by one dude. They don't get guns, you don't get any guns. You pull those away. That's a whole other what is it called? Waco and the Branch Davidians. Not a suicide exactly, but kind of a suicide mission that they were doing, because they could have easily have stopped at any time and just like, okay, we'll turn over our stuff, let the authorities come in, see that everything's on the up and up, and go about our business. But they were ready to end the world like at any moment. That's another thing. A lot of these cults are doomsday cults, and if you look at Heaven's Gate, they never said the world was going to end, but it is going to recycle. It's going to be changed into something else, and you can escape it and you can become better by following their practices.
Right. Was it Mormons? I think. I don't know if growing up you guys had like. I think it must have been Mormons. They would show you like the little, like pamphlets of the world ending. Was it them?
I think it's Jehovah's Witnesses, right?
Oh, okay. Then that one. Because I was like, that scared me when I was a little girl, and they showed me that, and I was like, "What? The world's ending?"
Oh my god!
I think I was like 5.
That's some scary stuff.
And my mom had to talk to me. She's like, "No, the world isn't ending."
See, that's good, because I think my parents were like, "Yeah, it's ending. You got to be careful. Like, go
clean your room."
You're really gonna leave the world like this?
Oh my gosh! Like, you're gonna really leave your dirty underwear on the floor, and you're not gonna be here to clean it up?
You pig! Disgusting.
I could see that probably working somewhere. Oh, I sometimes listen to the cult. Sometimes sometimes there's some pretty good ideas. Like, I would say, the way that they cared about money and material items in Heaven's Gate was very they just didn't. So whenever they would run out of money, they would go get a low entry job for a little while, make money, and then come back, and that's it. There was no like career building. There was no like hard labor. It was just go work a menial job, go do something, come back, and we'll continue to do our practices.
Mm-hmm.
And if you really don't want to live with material stuff, and you really don't mind the way they were living, I mean, that's a pretty decent way to live. I mean, why not? It's not for me, but it seems like it really worked for them while they were doing it.
Like, seeing the videos of the members, they seemed really at peace and happy. So I think they must have believed they were going to a better place by doing that.
Right.
Yeah. I'll remember. Okay, here we go.
And I think this is the only cult that I've seen where the members look at peace and happy. Because the other ones, they look like wired out and they're going to snap at any moment.
Well, yeah, because they're under like a whole lot of pressure. And these, they like take their time
Well,
at their own pace. Yeah.
That's another way to get people in, though. Like they came out of the free love movement, and a lot of these people didn't really care for that. They didn't want to live that way. So you have something that's not pressuring you at all to live the opposite. It probably looked pretty interesting for them because a lot of them just didn't like society, so they wanted a different way to live, and they found that in Heaven's Gate.
And they lived in a really beautiful house. Like they lived pretty good sometimes.
It's pretty nice. Yeah, I wouldn't complain about that. Now, they did believe that at first, before Bonnie Nettles died, they believed that they were going to fully move body, soul, everything into the ships. They were preparing to leave Earth 100%. There was no transformation out of your body. Your body would transform with you. When the comet came is when they had the idea we have to remove our mortal coil, our physical body, so that the spiritual body could go. And I believe both versions, they had a goal form that they were going to take. And I have a picture of what their website, it's on their website, what they said they would look like if they might come back, what they might appear like, how members of the kingdom of heaven might appear. So let me get that picture on here so you guys can see what the future humanoids would look like if they completely transformed properly. It's a really small picture. I apologize, but you might have seen this before already. Let me get that on there. So that's what they say body looks like right there.
Perfect.
All right.
But things kind of changed, right, when Bonnie died, because they thought the body would go, but then when Bonnie died, the body was still there. So Applewhite had kind of changed the idea that the body will stay here.
Exactly. But I don't know. I don't think I want to look like that. I don't, I got flaws, but I don't want to be gray and bald.
It's like Conehead status.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. A little less pointy, but a lot of the same features.
I think the way you look is so important because it's a reflection of the inside. Like, look at Kat Von D. She's very gothic. Or Betsy Johnson. She has a lot of color because it's a reflection of who you are on the inside. And you take that away. You take away somebody's identity.
Exactly.
No, I definitely agree with that. Yeah. All right. So, let's see. Where is it? Right here. Okay. So towards the end, the comet approaching 96 is when they found out. If you go to again, these are all from them directly, the website. They do not believe, like Lex was saying earlier, this was to them not a suicide. It was just them transforming to the next stage. And they have a pretty lengthy but difficult to read because the text is just really bad. Stance. They have a page called "Our Position Against Suicide." So they do not think that you should be taking your own life in order to go join them. Like they're telling people, if you message them, they'll probably tell you the exact same thing that their website says. Don't do this on your own. They did this because the comet was there and because Marshall Applewhite was leading them there. He was supposed to be already to the next level human being. So they had someone to guide them, kind of like when you're going up Mount Everest and you should have a guide to take you up. He was basically the same thing in a spiritual sense.
Right. Yeah,
but,
they called it a willful exit. Entering the kingdom of heaven is what they called it.
Yes. And I don't think they were right. I don't think it worked out. There's no spaceship there.
It's like it turns out you're wrong. I doubt it, but
that would suck. Or maybe they were right and they're now in a spaceship somewhere going somewhere. Cool.
No one knows.
Yeah.
You know, the last restaurant they went to, they all had the same meal, like exactly the same meals, like iced tea, salads. And it was at Marie Callender's.
Yep.
What would be the last restaurant you eat?
Not Marie Callender's.
No, I was like, not that one.
Steakhouse.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. Oh man, I don't know.
Slab the biggest piece of meat right here on my plate.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Whole damn cow.
This is a tough one because I'm like trying to think of different food. I would probably go with Marlene. Actually, have bread. Just do bread there.
I love bread.
Call it. What do you call it, Richard? At Frightmare, we should gather on the patio and search the sky. Mushrooms would enhance it. I think that's pretty much true whenever you're looking at the sky, though. Regardless if you're looking for aliens or not, if you're on mushrooms, I think it'd make it better.
Anything. Yams.
Yeah, pretty much. Just don't do that in Bakersfield. I'm just telling everyone out there. We're like the smoggiest area of California. So you look at the sky, it's just dirty. Like, there's no reason. Don't worry about it. Let's go a couple hours in different directions. It'll be better.
Yep.
Yeah. Unfortunate, but it's true. That's true. So I mean, they did take their lives. Family members of theirs, they were able to see family members like a couple of months before this, saying that they seemed relatively happy and normal. They didn't really talk about what was going on. They just kind of spent time with family members for a couple of days, I think a week at most, and then went back. The reasons are in the tapes why they did it, but watching them is just so confusing because he never really explains what it means that the Earth's going to get recycled, or he kind of dodges questions with more just gibberish of a cult speak that if you don't believe, it doesn't make sense.
So would the members get the answer, or would it be the same thing?
Yeah, I think that the answer really is, if you believe in him, you're going to understand what he's saying. But if you don't, like, because I don't believe what they're talking about, I don't get it. It's like reading a book that you really like for someone who doesn't like the book, and both of you come to the way different conclusions on the exact same piece of paper.
Right.
So it's just, it definitely leaves a lot of questions, but there were their own definitive answers that they 100% believed in. Like, you could not convince them otherwise. And I think that's just kind of a base of a lot of different kind of faiths. You can't change faith in people. If they're true believers, they're true believers no matter what.
Yep.
I never grew up religious, so it's hard for me to understand.
I mean, I grew up with Christianity being shoved down my throat, so I kind of stay away from it because it just tears people apart. It makes them fight. That's all I've seen.
Yeah.
So. There's a lot of good things to be said about religions, but the way we use them never seems to work out.
Yes.
It just seems like
with my grandma's church that I told you that she had like all of the signs of a cult, the way she would run it. And that's why I was like, oh, that's why I don't like religion, because my grandma would run it in a not positive way.
Yeah.
That's why I'm scared.
So if anyone of us were to, per se, start the religion or our own cult, we'd have to have Marlene be the face of it and run it because she's got the most background.
Oh, yes. About what my grandma did?
I'm saying you have the family lineage. Like, I will definitely help you run the cult, but I can't be in charge. You're gonna have to be in charge then. Sorry.
She would make a lot of money from it, so I think we would be good.
I'm good with that. All right.
So aside from that,
the Triple G cult, first chapter will be over there with you guys. Membership is everything you own. So
your soul.
Just one soul each, one soul each, and your house, and we're good to go. Call it. More rules to follow.
I bet Neil would join.
Yes.
Nah.
You would
be included shoes and feet. He would be so in.
Nice.
You would be our cheerleader.
Oh my god, he totally would. He totally would.
Yeah.
You gotta have one. You gotta have a cheerleader.
Yes.
You gotta have a hype man. Like trying to build up the crowd. It's like, oh, this is such a good idea to be here, guys.
Yep.
Yep.
That would
100%.
Oh my gosh. All right. That's all I got for this for right now, guys. Any final words on the Heaven's Gate?
It was the most.
It didn't turn as bad as I thought.
Yeah, it was very innocent, more than I thought. So it was interesting.
You know, I originally picked it because I saw the alien part, and I was like, oh, Marlene likes aliens. That would be cool. And then I was like, oh, they commit suicide to go on the ship. So I was like, oh, this is dark and twisted. I like that.
It's less cool.
I like dark things too.
So I was like, perfect. Let's do this one.
Oh man, no,
Yeah,
it's
actually pretty good.
It's fascinating. It really is.
Miguel, are you okay? You're not going to join, right? You're
No.
Okay?
Like I've said, if I'm going to be in a cult, I'm going to start it myself because I want to at least like have a say in what's going to happen. I'm not joining anyone else's, but you guys will get 50% off coupons to join my cult. I will send them in the mail, probably, or Groupon, perhaps. I don't know. Just, Miguel's cult. Go ahead. There will be very few rules, and we will have a nicer house than they did. All right, that's gonna be everyone's gonna have their own room.
Eat bread
and steak.
Sounds good.
All right, that's all I got, guys. Yes, I like the alien emoji. Thank you. But yeah, I guess that's gonna wrap it for today. Again, if you want to email them, the email is on the page. You will get a response, but it will cost you $30 for the book. And the email right here, rep@heaven heavensgate.com. Yeah, okay. I thought that was spelt wrong, but no, it's spelled right. rep@heavensgate.com. So if you want to message them, anybody, go ahead. Let us know what they say to you. I would be very curious if anyone actually takes advantage of that, because they will respond. The website. If you guys want to go to that, miguelsexcult.com. Yes, that's gonna start.
So yours would be the opposite of Heaven's Gate, where it's like very asexual.
Oh no, it would be complete opposite. We don't kill ourselves at the end. You get to enjoy whatever you want.
Everybody's naked.
Everyone, yeah. What do you call it? And I don't have to answer any questions after 10 p.m. Boom. Oh shoot, my camera's going out. What the heck? Can you still hear me?
Yes.
I don't know.
No.
Yeah, it just decided. Yeah, as soon as I started bringing up my own cult, then it's like, nope, kicking you out. All right, I'm getting out of here, guys, because I don't know.
They're on to us.
They found out too much.
Yes.
Damn it. All right, everybody, y'all have a good one.